Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Pretty Girl Podcast. No, I did not forget about you. It's 8:15 p.m. on a Wednesday. I typically do a podcast in the morning on Wednesdays, and today has just been a little bit chaotic. A lot of you know we are on vacation at the moment. Currently, I am podcasting from Orlando, Florida. So, yes, I think last time I podcasted, I was in Miami. So, anyway, since then, we went to Key West, and today we drove from Key West to Orlando, and tomorrow we are flying to Utah to see our families for Christmas. So, this is a little bit different for me, podcasting on the road, but hey, we're making it happen and I'm excited about it. And I'm just really grateful y'all are here to hear me chat at you. So I tried to get Bennett to come on to the podcast today, but he said no. So sorry about that, guys. He would have so many good things to say. Not really. Also, I don't think I'm going to edit this podcast, so we're just going to roll with it and roll with the punches. This is live and unfiltered, baby. So, all right, last time I spoke with you, we were talking about traveling on a budget. And you guys had a lot to say about it and a lot of really good tips. I asked for tips, tricks, and tools on my Instagram, and you guys came through, and I love it. I want to share some of the comments that I got that some of you shared because it's like we got to help each other out. You know what I mean? I am not an expert. I say that every freaking podcast, but I could do better. And I want to do better. And even listening to some of these comments, I'm like, dang it, we could probably be saving even more money. And that's what it's about, right? Just figuring out different ways to do things and just listening to how other people travel, and some of it might work for you and some of it might not. So I'm gonna I'll read some of them off. So my friend Alex Moore said, we use a travel card for all our daily purchases and bills, and we accumulate enough points for a free round trip flight to Europe once a year. So I thought that was pretty dang cool. So I need to know what travel card this is because we might be needing to do that. We do have a credit card that we use that will do like our mortgage and bills and whatnot on it, but we seem to only be able to accumulate enough points for a rental car.
We gotta do our mortgage.
No, it's not our mortgage. It's just our mortgage comes out of our checking.
We don't have a mortgage.
Oh, look who's decided to join the podcast. He's so embarrassed. He's shy, you guys. That's why we work together, because listen, if we were both the star of the show, no one would want to be friends with us. They'd be like, go away. Calm down. So, balance is the key to marriage. This is a side note. I love talking about relationships and marriage, but nobody wants me to talk about it. So maybe I should just shut up about it. But I think that it's so interesting. I love learning about relationships and why people work together and why some people just totally clash, Anyway, let's get back to budgeting and traveling. So Sarah Wetzel says, we use a credit card for everything except our mortgage and pay it off each month. P.S. No, this is Ashley Kelly talking right now, not Sarah Wetzel. Dave Ramsey, if you're listening, I don't endorse credit card spending. Just kidding, because I obviously just said that we do a credit card. But if you're diehard Dave Ramsey like I am, and every time you say the word credit card, don't you like cringe a little bit? But it's like, listen, it's like, here's what I think of it, okay? It's like playing with fire, okay? If you know how to play with fire and you know how to play with matches and you're a responsible adult and you're not going to get carried away and go on a crazy shopping spree and max out your credit card and you're emotionally stable, I think you'll be fine with having a credit card and paying it off every month. And I know that my Dave Ramsey listeners out there are cringing and swearing at me and probably turn me off, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I also think the same thing with alcohol. I think drinking is a lot like playing with fire. If you know how to do it and you know how to use it and you know how to be a responsible adult about it, it's fine. It's all good. And that's my side note. Let's get back to Sarah Wetzel. I don't know if you guys can hear Bennett just chuckling behind me. You're you gotta be quiet. I'm podcasting. Unless you want to be on. You want to share something? Okay. All right. So she says that she uses this to rack up the points. Usually we're able to cover our hotel or airfare with said points. We typically try and have a big trip paid off before we leave, so we only have to worry about incidentals when we're on vacation. We try and stay in an Airbnb most of the time and swing by a grocery store so we can cook some of our meals. Avoiding tourist traps is huge too. Also, the Everywhere feature on Skyscanner is amazing if you don't have a specific location in mind and just want to get away at the cheapest price. So, this was very helpful, and I'm going to be downloading Skyscanner ASAP. I love stuff like that, especially with the situation that Bennett and I are in. You know, we can be pretty dang flexible most of the time. So I think the apps like Skyscanner is a great idea. Oh, also, I wanted to tell you guys about Hotel Tonight. If you haven't used that app, we have actually been able to find some really good purchases on hotels. It obviously has to be that night. So it's kind of like a last minute, oh crap, we need a hotel. So I would just, yeah, download Hotel Tonight. And that's another good app to find cheap hotels that, because they just need to fill their rooms. So why not give it a go? Oh, and update about the Navy base that we stayed on in Key West. Perfect, you guys. It was so awesome. It was $90 a night. It was super clean. And we were, what was it, like 2 minutes from the beach? Like 100 meters. Seriously, so close. And we saw the most gorgeous sunset. Also, walking distance to the most amazing restaurants I've ever eaten in Florida. Seriously. Everything was so fresh, so good. So, if you have the opportunity and you are military or married to military or can take advantage of this one way or another, get your booty down to Key West and stay at the Navy base. Very it was worth it. 100%. I would definitely go back. All right, moving along. So, I wanted to just read two more. So, John Galt Dividends, can I read? He says, I keep receipts and get cash back for every single one. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. That is something I would never do. And I know that's not lovely to say because it's like, Ashley, you're just like throwing away money, or I don't know. But I just know myself. You know what I mean? You got to do what works for you. I admire someone that can keep all their receipts and get the cash back and like, save 50 cents here. What was that app everybody was telling me to get? The Ibotta app. I hated it. I hated it so much because I felt like it was pressuring me to buy a bunch of crap that I didn't need. And they're like, oh, but you need these crackers and you're going to save $1. And I'm like, I don't even like those crackers. But then I felt pressure to buy it. Do I need to buy it just so I can save $1 and say that I'm using Ibotta app? I felt like I needed to. And it just was sending me into a tizzy. So I deleted the app. So, hey, if it works for you, that's great. Doesn't really work for me. So there's some things that I'm like, oh, yeah, that totally fits into my lifestyle and kind of just my mind can wrap around it. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, do what works for you. All right. Last one. Christy Pinson says the biggest money saver on vacations is not eating out every meal. We typically bring food or go to the grocery store when we get somewhere and do cereal and PB&J for 2 meals and eat out one meal instead of three. Also, we have 3 small children, so eating out is a nightmare anyway. That is an amazing tip. And can I just be so real with you guys? I brought bread and I totally had the intentions to like make PB&Js. We didn't. We didn't. We have eaten out almost every meal. And I'm a little ashamed about it, but not totally ashamed about it because the food has been a 10. And yeah, sorry, not sorry. But that is such a good trick. It's hard though. It's like I would every morning I'm like looking at the bread and I'm like, we should really eat that. And I'm like, but also there is this fresh French bakery right up the street that I really need a croissant and a cappuccino, you know? So YOLO, but also I need a budget. No, I think we'll probably do much better with eating out once we're in Utah. We're just gonna like raid our family's fridge and be like, thanks, love you, Merry Christmas. So that's the plan. I'm excited for next week. I think my nephew and I might be doing a podcast together. He has a podcast called Cadence Podcast where he talks a lot about a little bit of everything. It seems like he talks a lot about religion and talks about sex, drugs, and alcohol, and a lot of what he focuses on lately, it seems like, and he'll correct me if I'm wrong in the one that we do together, but he likes to talk about like going through a faith crisis, which, if you know anything about Utah, which is where I'm from and my husband is from as well, it's very LDS dominant, which has there's just a lot of interesting quirks that comes with that. And anyhow, growing up in the church and leaving the church, it kind of it there's a lot of things that come with it, and he likes to talk about it and just open up the conversations around it. And I think that is very smart and very needed. And I think it's really cool that he's doing that. So I think we might do a little podcast together, which stay tuned for that. Hopefully, we can put that out next week. So, thank you guys so much for listening. Also, I am recording on this new laptop Santa gave me, which I'm obsessed with. However, it doesn't have my intro music. Like, it has the intro music, but it doesn't have the "You're listening to the Pretty Girl Podcast." So, you know what? You're just gonna get the instrumentals, and I hope that you forgive me and still will listen, even though this isn't perfect. But hey, we're getting this out to you because I am nothing if not consistent. So, Merry Christmas, and I will see y'all on Monday.